hydrated, shift the hours, of the exposure outside, that is an option as well that you can look at.
While certain regions may experience prolonged droughts, predictions also raise concerns regarding heavy rainfall, hurricanes, and flooding.
The expected increases in the tropical cyclone activity, those strong winds can have an impact on your crops. That can have an impact on your infrastructure for the farmers, who would have the crops above ground. For those periods of time, maybe you can plant some root crops, that's an option. So there's several things that the farmer can do, to adapt to our ever-changing climate.
And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire ZNS News team, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to join us every day at 4 o'clock p.m. for live show here in Bimini, and again for 6:30 for news. Have a great evening.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
First at 11. Allegations surrounding the transportation of migrants from the Bahamas to the United States, prompting the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to address the issue. This as the world watches with bated breath over the increasing tensions between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. Also, a Bahamian delegation to attend tourism's global mission in Canada as the Ministry of Tourism continues to explore expanding markets to the north and Europe. And the budget debate taking front and center in the upper chamber with Minister of Economic Affairs, the Honourable Senator Michael Halkitis, leading off debate with a plan he says will empower Bahamians. The Bahamas tonight at 11 starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. The world continues to wait for any significant implications from the conflict between Israel, Iran, and the United States. Major airstrikes began this weekend, continuing today with Iran firing missiles at a U.S. base in Qatar. But what's also a concern here in the Bahamas is a social media post that alleges the transportation of migrants from the Bahamas to the U.S. mainland. Altavis Munnings leads us off at 11 with what the Ministry of Foreign Affairs is saying. Good evening, Altavis.
A social media post from United States Republican Congresswoman for Florida, Anna Paulina Luna, went viral today as she reportedly claims the U.S. Coast Guard is in her Florida district and intercepted a, quote, boatload of Iranians and Russians attempting to illegally enter the country from the Bahamas. Now, the post reportedly indicated that, quote, am I concerned about sleeper cells? Absolutely. This is not a conspiracy theory. It's a serious national security threat, end quote. Well, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs wasted no time in announcing that they've sought urgent clarification from the United States government about that social media post from the U.S. Congresswoman that Iranians and Russians were interdicted by the U.S. Coast Guard from the Bahamas trying to enter the U.S. lawfully. Now, the release from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirms no security agency of the Bahamas is aware of any such incident and concludes that foreign affairs officials are awaiting a reply from the U.S. authorities. Now, we just recently got an update from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Fred Mitchell.
Quite frankly, I think the country at large was sort of mystified by this. The first thing we did was we did a round robin of our security people around the country, and no one seems to be aware of any such thing. So the next thing was reaching out to the U.S. government to ask for some clarification on the issue, and we expect that they'd give us an answer shortly. But the short answer is no one is aware of any such incident in this country. And if protocols have been followed, such a thing had happened, those persons, if they had originated in the Bahamas, would be returned here. And no such thing has happened, so it's a mystery.
Now, that request by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to the U.S. government comes as the Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued 3 travel advisories today. Bahamians are urged to avoid all travel to Iran and Israel and the occupied Palestine territories due to increased military activity and security risks. Sudden airspace closures, missile strikes, and threats of terrorism have made travel in the region highly dangerous. Those in affected areas should shelter in place, follow local authority instructions, and contact at consularcrisis@bahamas.gov.bs if in need of urgent help. Now, Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell also confirming to us that 2 Bahamians were about to leave for the Middle East for Dubai today and learned that their airline had canceled. British Airways had canceled all their flights to Dubai, and they have been advised to stay put. He also added that there are 2 Bahamians in Doha, that's the capital of Qatar, and they're reportedly safe, and Foreign Affairs officials have advised them to also remain in place until further notice. Now, if you're among the many Bahamians preparing to travel to the U.S., Foreign Affairs officials remind you to exercise with caution. This is an issue we will continue to monitor, and we will have more information as it becomes available. Back to you.
Thank you, Altabase. Meantime, a U.S. Coast Guard release issued by the Office of the Prime Minister pointed out that the U.S. Coast Guard District 7 takes the safety and security of all people in the maritime domain very seriously. The release went on to say, while there have been no interdictions of foreign nationals attempting to enter Florida from the Bahamas in the past 30 days, this Coast Guard remains vigilant and committed to protecting lives at sea and securing our borders. Through ongoing operations, the service will detect, deter, and interdict illegal aliens, drug smugglers, and other individuals intent on terrorism or hostile activity before they reach the country's borders. It was the state of Florida a few weeks ago, and now tourism officials have their eyes set on promoting the Bahamas to our northern neighbor, Canada. Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, is leading the Bahamian delegation, spearheading tourism's global mission in Canada. The week-long meeting will be held in Montreal and Toronto. Our Corvell Pyfrom has this report from Montreal.
Montreal is Canada's 2nd largest city. It's the 9th largest in North America. The Bahamas Ministry of Tourism sees a lot of opportunity here, and so officials are taking part in a sales mission in the hopes of showing this market that the Bahamas is open for business.
Bahamas has been a popular destination for Canadians. And this week we are here in Canada. Tonight we're here in Montreal. We go on to Toronto tomorrow. But there is familiarity. Many Bahamians have close connections with Canada. So this is exciting times for Canada. And we are happy to be here to reacquaint ourselves with the market and allow the market to stay close to us. And we're going to be meeting with our media partners or travel partners, and over the next day or 2, I think this is going to be an exciting opportunity really in this market to really showcase the islands of the Bahamas.
Even amid his excitement here in Canada, the Deputy Prime Minister is watching closely the situation in the Middle East as tensions escalate between Iran, Israel, and now the United States.
This is just the beginning, I believe, of a crisis, this phase of this crisis, and we don't know how it will continue to unfold, and therefore it creates uncertainty. When there is uncertainty, people tend to stay put. They stay at home, which is not good for tourism, not good for the economy.
And finally here, as for this sales mission to Canada, the first journey is here in Montreal before Ministry of officials and the delegation take off to Toronto. In Montreal, Canada, for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corvell Pyfrom.
Thanks, Corvell. Back here at home, debate on the 2025-2026 budget resumed today in Parliament. This time, senators getting the opportunity to have their say before the new budget year begins on July 1st. The Economic Affairs Minister opened debate detailing a plan which he says will empower more Bahamians across the length and breadth of the country while promoting fiscal discipline. Fern Carey reports.
Economic Affairs Minister Senator the Honorable Michael Halkitis touting a 2025-2026 fiscal plan that includes government spending priorities and expanded initiatives aimed at empowering Bahamians island by island without introducing harsh austerity measures. Minister Halkitis also highlighted a projected budget surplus of $75 million, a first for the country since independence in 1973. He also explained why the extra funds is such a big deal for ordinary Bahamians.
Simply put, Madam President, it means that the government is projecting that in the upcoming year, 2025-2026, the government will collect sufficient revenue to adequately fund the programs that the government has to fund and still have $75 million left over. So we're collecting enough money to do what you have to do and have funds left over.
The government leader noted that the government will continue to maintain fiscal discipline, and he also indicated that the surplus funds will be used to reduce government debt.
You look at interest payments, the amount of money that the government, people of the Bahamas have to pay just on the interest on the debt. In 2017, that number was $273 million. In 2025, that number is expected to be $668 million. 2026 goes down to 602, and by 2027 we anticipate $565 million on interest, and so you see the trend going downwards.
Senator Halkitis also provided more insight on the government's debt management strategy.
We had debt to GDP in the area of 90%, 88.7%. We've seen that reduced to 72% in 2024. Our medium rate target looks to get that back down to 50% by 2030, 2031.
The multi-year strategy is aimed at driving down the country's debt. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Thanks, Fern. Still to come, another shooting probe underway. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight at 11. More news in just a moment.
If you listen closely, you can hear the heartbeat of a nation. That unique sound of a great country pounding with colorful history, a rich culture, and unwavering ambition. When you look around, you recognize its pulse. The people who love to celebrate, who identify with triumph, a people who know how to be our brother's keeper. Commonwealth Bank, built by Bahamians, here for Bahamians, Bahamians helping Bahamians.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance, peace of mind.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
There are many Bahamians in need. Among them, some depend heavily, sometimes solely, on the National Insurance Board. With this in mind, the NIB Compliance Department embarked on its Compliance Performance and Recovery Initiative, also dubbed CPR. Daniel Dean reports.
The National Insurance Board taking additional measures to shore up its revenues. This in addition to contribution rates increasing last July. Director Dr. Tammy Francis says for far too long, NIB has been paying out way more than it takes in.
It's no secret at the moment that we have a challenge with regards to our expenditure versus our revenue. And today, NIB is no longer going to be passive. We are going to be present.
In fact, NIB pays out $34 million per month. An actuarial report states that more contribution increases every 2 years are needed to sustain the fund. To this end, a prep rally was held Monday as 50 employees got their boot on the ground charge to visit business establishments to ascertain their standing with NIB. Today's area, Carmichael Road.
We're hoping to introduce or reintroduce ourselves to employers, allow them to see all of what we have to offer and know that it is possible to pay your NIB contributions, see your inspector, meet your inspector, know what we are all about, as well as I said earlier, we want to also make our presence felt. We want to ensure that at the end of this year, all of the contributions that we anticipate or we have projected to receive, we are receiving.
According to the director, the goal is $400 million this year. And so far for 2025, NIB has met or exceeded the goal each month. These contributions are necessary in sustaining Bahamian families, as proven during COVID-19.
NIB was indeed relevant to just about every single employee and employer within our nation.
At the end of this exercise, the National Insurance Board hopes to send a message to businesses across the island that they're here and ready to ensure that they're following protocol. Reporting for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Danielle Dean.
Thanks, Danielle. From the crime beat, a young father gunned down Sunday, becoming the country's latest shooting fatality. As police now target two men, one the shooter and the other the driver of a getaway scooter. The victim's family speaking exclusively with ZNS on the tragic killing of this 21-year-old, whose life was cut short. Lloyd Allen has the details tonight.
The country's latest shooting incident taking place on Taylor Drive just after 8 p.m. on Sunday. Now, according to Chief Superintendent Sharia King, that the victim was gunned down after a gunman pulled up and opened fire.
ZNS News on Monday spoke exclusively with the family of the victim's girlfriend. They have identified him as 21-year-old Harold Burrows, affectionately called KJ. Yvette Farrington says KJ deserved better.
That boy run behind him on the side of the house and kill him. He run behind him, so he come for him.
His girlfriend and the mother of his son, Lanija Farrington, says just days ago, the two had an eerie conversation that turned out to be her worst nightmare.
He just was talking and he said he'd rather dead from natural causes than to let somebody shoot him down and kill him.
The family also saying it still feels like a dream.
I heard gunshots and I was frozen in my spot because I ain't used to things like that in my yard or even associated with my children. But as we came out, we didn't see KJ at first. But when we got on the side of the house, we see KJ and he was shot up. Everything he do is out of love. He is a happy person, always smiling, laughing, dancing, getting off.
And as law enforcement is still in the early stages of this investigation, the family sending this message to the shooter.
A 21-year-old young boy who just trying to live life, y'all just cut it short, but it ain't fair. But always remember there's a God out there, but and God real, but justice will be served, but.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Police also investigating another shooting here in the capital. It took place around 2:30 this afternoon in the Big Pond area off Blue Hill Road. Two male victims were shot and were reportedly transported to hospital. Their conditions were unknown at last report. An hour later, police were still on the scene conducting preliminary investigations. We will continue to follow this story. Over in Grand Bahama, the man responsible for an attack on a principal was arraigned in a Grand Bahama court today. Shalia Roll of our Northern Service has the details.
On the last week of school, while some were collecting report cards, a principal who was hoping to be done with the semester was allegedly brutally attacked with a steel object by a family member of a student who attended the school. Well, today, that man stood before the magistrate, learning his fate. Kenneth Farrington, born November 25, 1997, appeared before Magistrate Charlton Smith on Monday after an alleged altercation at McLeanstown Primary School on June 20th. Police say Farrington attacked the principal during a dispute while collecting his nephew's report card. Farrington pleaded not guilty and elected for the matter to be heard in the magistrate's court. Prosecutors wasted no time outlining the prosecution's objections. She argued strongly against bail, citing both the seriousness seriousness of the charge and Farrington's ongoing criminal matters, stating that he is already on bail for rape, adding that a voluntary bill of indictment had been filed for the case, which is expected to go before the Supreme Court in November 2025. She further revealed Farrington's criminal record, including 2 previous convictions for indecent assault. But just when it seems the prosecution's argument would prevail, the courtroom took an unexpected turn. The mother of the alleged suspect stood up and made a heartfelt plea on Farrington's behalf. In a quiet, emotional voice, she urged Magistrate Smith to grant bail, not out of forgiveness, but because of Farrington's serious health issues. She revealed that Farrington suffers from a brain aneurysm and has undergone brain surgery in the past. He reportedly experiences frequent seizures and is currently awaiting financial support to travel to New Providence for further treatment. Now, Jolanda, get this. After a lengthy break, Magistrate Smith returned to the courtroom to deliver his ruling, and he sided with compassion. The suspect was granted bail in the sum of $6,000 with 1 or 2 suretors, and he is expected to wear an ankle monitor until he returns to court on August 12, 2025. Coming to you live from the courthouse, I'm Shalia Roll. Back to you.
Thank you. Michelle Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports tonight. Michelle?
Mako Aquatics makes it 7 in a row. Details of that story and more coming up in sports.
Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we have been in Exuma now for the past 4 years, carrying out our paving program. A part of our company's philosophy is to do some work to international standards. So when you look at our paving division, we have a state-of-the-art lab to do all of our testing in-house, as well as a state-of-the-art asphalt plant with a trained technician carrying out the work on that site. The overarching goal of our company is to produce the work that we're doing in the entire Bahamas to international standards. We also make a difference by the training of our staff. We have a very intensive training program going on to where we are teaching young men how to learn the art of striping. Being a young man myself, I've made mistakes in the past. I was given a second chance to better my life, and it's only fitting that we pass it along. What's important for us is giving them a second chance for them to get a skill and a career that could take them further in life.
Got termites and need to get rid of them fast? Trust Rentokil Initial. With over 60 years experience in the Bahamas, the global brand, training, and expertise can't be beat. Only Rentokil Initial gives you a 3-year warranty and payment plan options on termite fumigation. No one can match the range of treatments we offer, such as fumigation, pre-construction treatments, termite monitoring, and more. No matter where you are in the Bahamas, we will come to you. When it comes to complete termite eradication, there's only one name, Rentokil Initial.
For us at the Myers Group of restaurants, we found that we have a pretty large portion of our employment pool that had difficulty getting bank accounts.
The issue we had previously was just getting cash, getting funds on the island. And with only one working ATM, the idea of the sand dollar just in being digital, and everybody has a smartphone nowadays. It actually works into our favor.
The sand dollar was like a godsend because it allowed us to add it to our payroll system, which means we're able to send their money to the sand dollar wallet.
It's still a bank transfer because you get an account number. So from the employer side of things, all I have to do is send your funds just as usual.
It opens up our pool for us to be able to hire some of the people that we couldn't hire before because they were unable to open bank accounts. This has been a really good solution.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports after 4 days of competition. The Bahamas Aquatics Federation's 53rd National Swimming Championships, concluding on a high note for the Mako Aquatics Club at the Betty Kelly Kennig Aquatic Center on Sunday night. Mako dominated the 4-day meet from start to finish, clinching its 7th straight national title with a score of 3,109 points. Alpha Aquatics took second place with 1,381. Barracuda Swim Club left nationals with a 3rd place finish, accumulating 1,330 points. After the competition, Mako would finish with a total of 278 medals as well. Head coach Truano McPhee.
Feels good, man. We have just 7 nationals.
We worked hard all year. It's good to see the kids come out and perform. Besides the point standing, just amazing swims. A lot of records. Gold medals. So just happy to see the kids. Hard work really pay off tonight.
McAfee adding that their recent dominance is no accident and that their swimmers put in the work necessary to come out on top.
Over the course of 4 days, so it really takes a lot. Recovery plays a huge role in that. And the swimmers who you see really perform well on the 3rd and 4th day, do a great job, taking care of their body and mentally being prepared for the 3rd and 4th day. Everyone is tired when it comes to the 3rd and 4th day, so it really takes a lot more than just physical. A lot mental on the 3rd, 4th day, and just treating your body right, recovering, staying focused. Taking one race at a time, one day at a time, and I think our Mako swimmers did an amazing job with that.
From the pool to the diamond over in Grand Bahama, the Junior Baseball National Championships wrapping up over in the nation's second city. RJ Philippe from the Northern Service gives us more details in this report.
The best of the best junior baseball leagues all competed this weekend in Grand Bahama. Winning the 8U Coach Pitch Division was Freedom Farm that took care of Grand Bahama Little League 13-0.
We expected the guys to come out and hit every game, and we did that. So I think overall we played well. A few teams gave us a good run, and we like to see the competition. We like to see our guys get tested. So we were proud of the way they made the plays, did what they were supposed to do.
Ace pitcher Elijah Thomas led Freedom Farm's 10U team over GB Little League in the 10U title game.
These guys, they practice hard, they go out and work, and they came out today in the championship game and executed fully.
I felt great. They did a lot of hard work, and it always pays off in the end. I felt I was going to do my job and do the best I could.
GB Little League won the 14U title game against JBLN.
Our pitching was dominant. We had a lot of good pitches. Our bullpen was deep. Our defense played well, and our bats came alive late, but they came alive.
Isaac Richardson was named MVP in the 12U title game against Grand Bahama Little League.
Didn't give up any runs during the course of the pool play. The defense was clean. The pitchers pitched their game, and the hitters scored a lot of runs. So we had a lot of fun, and the boys did very well.
I'd like to thank God for allowing me to play this good. I would like to thank my teammates, my coaches, Coach Gray, Coach Newball, Coach Bosfield. I feel like we played to the best of our ability and can't wait for next year's Nationals.
Reporting from Grand Bahama for ZNS Total Sports, I'm Jay Philippe.
Back in the capital over the weekend, the Eastwood Judo Club hosting their 4th annual tournament at the Donald Davis Gym. The event organized in an effort to give some of our local judokas some much-needed competition reps. Club founder and manager Keith Saunders tells us more.
For more than 8 to 10 years, actually. But as we traveled to tournaments overseas, we were realizing that we did very little at home. And we find these other teams overseas, they were like having 4 and 5 different tournaments per year. So we decided to develop this tournament for Eastwood Judo to develop kids' skills, get more butterflies out of their stomach. They be used to competition, hence the Eastwood Judo Club Championships.
And Greenbelt Robert Burrows and why he would encourage interested persons to take up this discipline.
I advise them because it actually builds up your strength. It's really good for your body, keeps you active, and also you be more communicative, and it actually opens you to more countries for competitions like these ones.
To the hardwood and basketball news, Bahamian WNBA star John Paul Jones will miss the next 4 to 6 weeks after re-aggravating a sprained right ankle during a recent 89-81 loss to the Phoenix Mercury. The 5-time All-Star initially sprained the ankle during a June 5th matchup against the Washington Mystics and missed 2 games before making a return on June 17th against the Atlanta Dream. Whilst he played 25 minutes and shot just 4 of 10 from the field for 10 points, Jones managed 8 minutes of playing time before exiting in the second quarter. Further imaging revealed that she has avoided a long-term injury, meaning New York's front court will have to stay afloat for roughly a month without the 2021 WNBA MVP. Now, the 31-year-old has been one of the more dominant forces in the league since she was drafted in 2016. Along with that regular season, she also has a Finals MVP award. Jones is also a 5-time All-Star, rebounding champion, blocks champion, and a 4-time All-Defensive Team member. And that's all the time we have for you for sports on this Monday. Until tomorrow, I'm Amajal Knowles, signing out.
Just what is it that you want to do? And we want to have a good time. We want to be free to do what we want to do.
The internet isn't just for surfing. There's a sea of shoppers buying online, and you can connect with them on Tingsy. Tingsy is the SBDC's online storefront built for Bahamians. Take your business to the next level by selling to customers online, both at home and around the world. People want Bahamian things, and if you got things to sell, sell on Tingsy. Find out how you can connect with a sea of buyers by visiting TingsyBahamas.com.
It's time now for a weather check with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Royston. Our satellite pictures showing this blob of showers and thunderstorms well to the east of the southeast Bahamas. Well, that's associated with a tropical wave which is heading our way and will be spreading into the northwest Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands later on tonight. And that will eventually reach us here in the capital sometime on Wednesday, elevating our rain chance over the next several days. The Hurricane Center is also monitoring an area of low pressure. You can see the spin right here taking place. That's some 650 miles to the east-northeast of Bermuda. The Hurricane Center is giving it a 40% chance of development, and if it were to develop, it will be a short-lived either tropical depression or tropical storm with no threat to any landmass, so no problem there for us here in the Bahamas. Temperatures around the islands: Marshall, Abaco at 85, 82 in Green Tool, Key, Abaco. Freeport, Grand Bahama at 82 degrees. The Berry Islands 84, 84 also in Allenstown, Bimini. In Fresh Creek, Central Andros, Kemp Space or Andros also 84s. Black Point, Exuma at 86, Allenstown, Canal at 81 degrees, 81 also in San Salvador and Rum Key. Georgetown, Exuma, 3 degrees up at 84 degrees, 81s again in Ragged Island, Clarence Sound, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, pretty warm at 87 degrees, 86 in Acklands. Matthew Tiny Nagua, 82 in the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your forecast tonight, we're looking at breezy this evening, otherwise partly cloudy and warm with a couple of showers developing later on tonight. With your low temperature at 80 degrees, meaning you're certainly going to need those air conditions to keep yourself comfortable. And then tomorrow, we're looking at breezy with intervals of clouds and sunshine, a thunderstorm in spots, particularly in the afternoon as that tropical wave get a little closer. The high temperature tomorrow climbing up to 88 degrees, and your extended weather forecast looking like this. We're going to have those off and on rain showers right through the rest of this week, becoming more severe on Friday with scattered showers and thunderstorms in the mix. On Saturday, it clears up just a little bit in those showers and thunderstorms for the return on Sunday and Monday up next week. Temperature-wise, though, pretty seasonal. We're keeping you in the upper 80s right into Thursday, and then we start to climb into those 90s on Friday. So the weekend looks pretty toasty. So once again, we're asking you to take in lots of water and keep yourself hydrated. Royston?
Thank you, Basil. Well, that's going to do it for the Bahamas tonight at 11. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. Thank you for watching, and good night.
At Tonic Williams Darden Highway, I'm Tajaro Hudson. This is ZNS.
Your self-worth is all wrapped up in your house. You must know a handyman who can help me baby-proof my condo. Why can't Todd do it? Todd? He may be a whiz in Santa's workshop, but he ain't worth a damn around the house.
Ooh, that reminds me. I need a bunch of repairs done at the apartments. My tenants keep nagging me about it. Okay, I'm the manager. You smell gas, your windows won't open. I get it.
Yeah, I need a handyman, too. I need someone to put up my ceiling fan.
Why don't you ask Derek, the man you're supposed to love?